Hi, this is Paul Mele.
Trevor Latham.
So we're here in Oakland, California, preparing to do a demo of PVC repair. In this scenario, we'd imagine that this was broken. It was proud of this grade and maybe got hit by a lawnmower or whatever. And we're going to go through the common breaks and repairs.
Yeah, this sort of head being set up like this with just a riser is kind of a mistake, or how they used to do it. Now you'd use a flexible riser in order to get the exact right height. So as we're doing the repair, we're going to fix that also. If there was an elbow nearby, we might be able to dig it so we had some flex, so we didn't have to use some sort of slip fix in there. But
Right.
But with this right here, we're gonna have to cut it back, put a slip fix in,
Right.
and set it up right. So as I start cutting it, walk them through it.
So, using PVC cutters, Trevor is gonna cut out the bad fitting, and we imagine this whole pipe was fixed in the ground continuing. We are gonna end up installing this slip fix, and what this does is when you have two fixed pipes, then you can get in there and fire the slip fix right in. So, if we just want to repair a break in the pipe, you could use this coupler and fix it right onto the old pipe. But in our case, we're gonna say that this PVC T was broken and then we need to slip fix it and connect it in. And let's say we're short, we can even add another length of pipe if we need to.
And because this does offset it by this 6 inches, as you cut, you gotta adjust for that till the head winds up in the same spot when you're done.
Right, right.
Primer after the valve. A lot of guys don't use it. Paul doesn't. Normally, if it's in the dirt like this, I kind of want to clean it up. If I got a water and rag, I'll use it. But otherwise, primer.
Right.
Primers.
Yeah, different PVC manufacturers, some say use primer, some don't. But if you got it, might as well.
Clean it up a little.
So you always want to prep up your female, male, this being your male, your fittings being female. And you don't really need to go crazy with your glue and primer, just where pretty much the fitting will accept about that much of the pipe. So if you just clean up the end, you're good.
Yeah, and these kind of things, you want to get them in as deep as you can. Get them
Right.
seated. The bigger the diameter of pipe, the more that's important. You know, if this is low pressure, you could probably be a little bit off and it would stay. But once it gets up there, and once the pressure gets higher, it starts to get really important.
Yeah, yeah.
And instead of being straight up and down, now we'll be sideways in order to articulate this.
But this swing arm does a ton of stuff. Like, it allows you to get your final grade matched up. And then, let's say this is by a driveway somewhere where, a car might run over it. That swing arm is going to keep flexing and accepting that impact and not break, where if you have rigid PVC, it could be a problem. And then
Match up just a little bit more. And these things will work if they're open a little bit, if they're open all the way.
right.
Doesn't particularly matter.
The only thing is if it gets stressed, like torqued, like if it gets bowed, that could end up leaking.
Yeah, it has to be under no
Yeah,
torsion pressure.
no torsion pressure. So Trevor's threaded this swing arm right into the PVC here, not using Teflon, but we'll show you if you use rigid PVC, the black Marlix fitting's a little softer, and the rigid PVC you need to use Teflon. Cheating.
Now we're gonna glue this guy. So the main thing is getting it cut so that you have the room to then expand it.
Right. So if you really wanted to double check, you could bring a tape measure, and you'd measure the depth of where the pipe's gonna sink, and where it's gonna sink over that other side. So one of the things, yeah, stuff loves to get dirty. There it is. So there's.
Give it maybe a 10 count, just in your head.
Yeah, the fittings are slightly tapered, so sometimes they'll start pushing out. And PVC glue also, it's actually melting the PVC. So usually breaks happen where the glue connections were, because it's basically just eating away at it. So cleaning it up.
Pretty good wipe down at the end.
And then, yeah, whether you want this T, up and try to get it, the unit all the way down, or installing it on its side. The only advantage if it is up, and let's just say it was on its side and you came to do that repair, then you start having to dig underneath to get that spinning the fittings on and off. If it's up, it's kind of more accessible, but sometimes depending on the repair, you kind of go either way.
And then the most important part, get this final grade right at the exact height that you want, so then it won't get hit by anything ever again, and you're good. Then you can flush.
Yep.
Add your nozzle. Fill it back in.
Yeah. And this is a lot of the stuff that you'll find. You usually won't necessarily find that swing arm. This is commonly, this is just a half inch PVC nipple, and it's a cut-off nipple that you can cut it at different lengths to customize it. And these are installed a lot, but break really easy. So that's why we really like doing the swing arm. And then if you did do PVC, you'd want a Teflon up the threads. A few spins.